sort of things. Just the other day, I think it was last Monday, a girl got stabbed like in West London. Like. It's a mad thing, like what's going on right now with all the stabbings and the killings and the youths and that. What the thing is, there's not much opportunities out there right now for the kids, I feel like. What do you think about that?
I think some of them are just bored. They got nothing else to do, so they're out on the street, up to no good, and then these things happen and they shouldn't happen.
Yeah, but I mean, it's mad because what could we do about it though, as older individuals, but not too old, and still able to relate to the kids? I feel like there's a lot of things that we could do as individuals to help this issue.
I think what we've got to try and do as a charity and a business is maybe give them things to do, options. Can they go and play football on a Friday night somewhere in a safe environment rather than being out on the street and being up to no good? So we have to try and help these youth somehow. Rather than them being up to no good, can they be doing something constructive and having fun with their friends rather than being out on the street stabbing people?
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. We talk about opportunities though, and the whole bunch of things with like stabbing people is that they're not just doing it for no reason. So a lot of them on like the road life, and they're doing what they're doing because they need to get someone back. It's payback. Someone's robbed them and that sort of thing. So now it's sort of like a time where we need to give them other incentives other than money to exist. Because at the moment they feel like money's the only thing that's going to keep them pushing forward. They don't really care about getting caught, and then it just keeps spiraling into this ongoing onslaught of death and all sort of things. Just the other day, I think it was last Monday, a girl got stabbed like in West London. Like. So I mean, it's one of those where us as individuals, people as businesses, corporations, government, police, need to start thinking about little alternatives for kids to get into and let them know that there's other ways to make real substantial money, like legitly. Like. It's one of them where it's a difficult situation.
There's other options out there, so we're young adults ourselves. We can go and help them, we can show them there's other avenues to being out on the road. We're from London, we've sort of lived that life. We're not out there on the road stabbing people, so there is chances for them. We've got to try and find a way to go in there and help these kids. There shouldn't be this many stabbings, this many deaths in London this year alone.
It's scary, mate. It's scary, the amount what's going on. Like, I mean, it's hard to speak about because, like these are just kids. A lot of these kids are 15, 17. Like
just 17. Leaving school.
Like what? Like what was you doing at 15? Like what? At Watford, like doing nothing?
15, Watford, playing football. A Friday night, I've got a match on a Saturday. I'm not out on the streets. I'm preparing for my match Saturday morning. Saturday night, I'm probably around a friend's house. You're chilling, you're playing Xbox or PlayStation. You're not out on the streets up to no good. During the week, you're at home, I'm at home or at football training. Things to do.
Motivation.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, like that type of motivation there of like being in a professional academy setting. It's exclusive, so you have to be good enough to go. So not everyone's going to be good enough to go, so that leaves a whole big pool of people who aren't good enough to get an opportunity to be motivated and go and get your head down on a Friday night because you've got a game on a Saturday. So they might get their turn downs, they might not even like sport. Do you know what I mean? So, and like I say, it was a girl that got stabbed as well. So, and we know that the amount of girls playing sport in England isn't what it should be. So it's one of them where like we got to try and find another way. So sport's one way. We've got to find other ways to really inspire the kids and inspire them from a younger age to let them know that there's more to life than like getting a quick money for shotting or getting a quick money for doing a job and that for an older. It's one of them. It's a difficult one.
Let me try and get through to these kids that that's not a long term. You can't do that for the rest of your life, or you shouldn't want to do that for the rest of your life. You can't be living your life always looking over your shoulder thinking, I might be the next one to get stabbed, or
Yeah.
I've got to stab this person before they've got to stab me. Surely the youths of today don't want to live their life like that.
Yeah.
Constantly looking over their shoulder, constantly on the road. You know, we've got to try and help these kids some way or another.
Yeah. I mean, in the past couple of years as well, they've like started shutting down youth centres. They cut down budget on that sort of thing. Then on top of it, the schools they're getting the cuts in terms on their funding. So then what they end up doing is cutting the PE and cutting the things that are like allowing the kids to physically express themselves, and it's putting them in more like sit down classroom settings. So then it's like, if you're not able to physically express yourself as a minority at times in London, as an aggravated and frustrated young man or woman in London, like you're gonna act out when you do get your free time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a whole plethora of things that we gotta try and think about and address, and ways to try and motivate these young people to step away from that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And let them know that their possible futures could be like unbelievably bright. But if they continue where they're going, it's one of them where there's only two options. It's typical, but it's two options: you're dead or you're in jail. Like, no one's really trying to do either of those two. So
and like you just said, they're shutting down youth centres, but why? Obviously, I'm guessing there's no money, but where's the money going? These youth centres were open, so where's that money gone now? For these kids, they can go to the youth centre, safe environment for them to have fun, socialise with their friends. You just said not everybody likes sport.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can go to the youth centre, you can socialise, you can play games, you can sit down, have a chat on your phone, do what you do in a nice, safe environment. Once you finish there, hopefully the kids, they can go home.
Yeah.
They're nice, they're safe, they're not out on the road. In a, like you say, it's kill or be killed.
Yeah. Yes, it's dog eat dog world, and I had an issue with youth clubs anyway, because all it was is just a shelter for a period of time. Yeah. So they're putting on youth clubs from after school time, and they're kicking them out of the youth club at like 9, 10 or 8, 9 kind of thing. When all they're doing is just keeping them in that safe environment. But when they're too old to go to that youth club, they're then exposed to what they would have been exposed to at a younger age. So whilst during the youth club sort of era, whilst we had them or they had us in the youth club, they should have been instilling life skills, giving us little incentives, letting us know what life's all about. Let us know how it really is in the real world, and prepare us correctly for when we're too old to go to the youth centre. Because there's many examples. I've got friends that have gone down the other side. But when we used to jam together, they never used to really do those type of things. But now, like, we're out of that sheltered environment, some people feel like this is the only option. This is the option that society is given. So we go back to opportunities, and it's there needs to be more opportunities, but the opportunities need to be structured in a way where it's like it's giving and it's empowering, and it will build like resiliency within these kids. Because that's the things that are going to pull them out of this trouble, like empowerment and resiliency. Because no one's going to hold their hand through life. So we can empower them to think that, no, I can do better than that. I can make a difference in whatever you want to make a difference in, your school, your borough, your district, your family, whatever you want to make a difference in. I can make a difference in a positive way.